Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. DeepFakes. Facebook opens the door to a more insidious and potentially dangerous kind of fake news. A woman faces prison for allegedly helping illegal immigration because she saved people from drowning in the Mediterranean Sea. Saudi Arabia is using the best tech it has available to track women who fled the kingdom. And a police force criticized for posting too many puppy pics. We'll tell you what nation's officers have their tails between their legs. At the top of our newsfeed, Facebook and DeepFakes. The social network has got itself into a bit of a fix. The decision by Mark Zuckerberg et al. To not take down a clearly fake and manipulated video of Nancy Pelosi a week or so ago was met with dismay and incredulity. Now, some artists have posted a fake of Mark Zuckerberg saying some pretty wild stuff, and Facebook has let it remain on the platform, applying the same rules to it that it did with the Pelosi video. Now, but both of those decisions have just lifted the lid on what may be Pandora's box. Here's Karen.
Imagine this for a second. One man with total control of billions of people's stolen data, all their secrets, their lives, their futures.
Who else could say such a thing other than Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg? Only that's not his mouth and that's not his voice. It's a pretty shoddy version of something called a deep fake and was posted to Instagram using a 2017 interview he gave on CBS News as a basis for the software to make an important point. An artist called Bill Poster made it to demonstrate the power of what he calls computational propaganda. His Spectre exhibition features similar videos of President Trump, Kim Kardashian, and Morgan Freeman. He wants viewers to know that all it takes is a couple of short video clips, a voice actor, and an artificial intelligence algorithm to make a deep fake, and that this technology can easily be used nefariously. The Zuckerberg video is also Facebook's latest test as to how it manages the spread of fake content and misinformation online. After all, seeing is believing, right?
Controls the data.
Just last month, the social media platform refused to remove a viral video of U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
With this President of the United States. So that's what happens.
The clip had been edited to make her sound as if she was drunkenly slurring her words. And last year, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders shared a video of CNN reporter Jim Acosta appearing to make an aggressive movement towards a White House intern. Upon closer examination, it was revealed that the video had been subtly altered to make Acosta's actions seem more aggressive. At the time, Facebook acknowledged third-party fact-checkers found the Pelosi video to be false, but the platform argued they don't have a policy that stipulates information posted must be true. For now, Facebook is treating the Zuckerberg deepfake just as it did Pelosi's, heavily reducing its appearances on news feeds, adding an information box linking to 2 fact-checking sites, and opening a pop-up box with additional reporting. But with online platforms already grappling with the spread of fake news, researchers are warning that even they're not ready to cope with an influx of fakes, and don't think they can stop what could become an extraordinary political tool.
Spectre showed me that whoever controls the data controls the future.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. The Venezuelan designer Carolina Herrera has been accused of appropriating Mexican culture with her latest collection. The Mexican Cultural Secretary wrote a letter to Ms. Herrera complaining about the designs. People on the internet have added that the women who model the clothes don't look like they are of Mexican heritage. This man, John Suffolk, has become a social media star in China for defending the company he works for, Huawei. He spoke to British politicians and said that Huawei was not an arm of the Chinese state and people didn't need to fear they were being spied on by the Chinese if they used Huawei products. Apparently, people have been posting to Weibo to give him props. And a tweet showing the actor Keanu Reeves being the opposite of handsy when posing for pictures with women is getting lots of love. People are saying it shows how respectful he is and how he's not taking any chances in the age of Me Too. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe he just doesn't like touching people, something the women he's photographed with seem to have no problem with.
Somebody got a stinky, so stinky booty.
It's a stinky booty.
And this video from songwriter John Legend is very popular right now. It's part of a campaign he signed on to with the nappy maker Pampers to get more baby changing tables in male bathrooms. Apparently, that's a song he sings to his kids when he's changing them.
I was helping, with whatever I could help with when Luna was born. I saw how difficult it is to be a new mother, and I knew that part of my job as a father and as a partner to my wife was to be as helpful as I possibly could, knowing that certain physical things like breastfeeding I couldn't do, but there's a lot of other things I could. And so I helped with diaper duty, I helped with whatever I could help with.
Now, there are fewer people trying to cross into Europe over the Mediterranean Sea this year, but the proportion of those who've died while doing it has spiked. One of the main reasons for that spike is the lack of rescue vessels. They're not out there anymore because European nations are not allowing them to use their coasts as bases of operation, and one European nation is going even further in its attempt to deter humanitarians.
Il mio obiettivo è che arrivi in Italia, che ha diritto di arrivare in Italia, in aereo, magari anche in prima classe, non su gommoni e barconi.
Now, the UN have said what's happening in the Med could make it into a sea of blood. The United Nations and the Red Cross are demanding there be some kind of European agreement to help the people who will continue to try and cross. Well, we spoke to Tommaso Della Longa from the Red Cross. He began by laying out the problems as he sees them.
I mean, there are several different issues altogether. First of all, for us, it's a big matter of concern, the fact that NGOs vessels are prevented to work in the international waters in the Mediterranean Sea. Then second, as you know, Libya is living an armed conflict and people want to flee a place where there is war. And third, the European Union is lacking a common approach on migration. So these three factors altogether are putting more people at risk of life. At the beginning, I think, for instance, 2011, 12, 13, 14, people were saving people in the Mediterranean Sea were treated like heroes. I can think about, I'm Italian, I can think about our Italian Guard Coast that were saving thousands of people. And now, unfortunately, the perception on migration has changed. So it seems like that NGOs and every single organization or person who want to save lives is criminalized, and is a big matter of concern for all of us. And on top of that, we need also to underline that at the moment, at global level, we are experiencing the largest population movement since World War II. So it's not a matter of where to stop people. It's a matter on how to address causes and how to protect and save lives. when we are speaking about, let's say, economical migrants, so when you're speaking only about figures and statistics, we are dehumanizing the story of every single person. Most probably, tomorrow, if something really bad happened in Italy, my brother, my sister, my best friend could try to flee my country only because of poverty. And is this a good reason to risk life in the Mediterranean Sea? Is this a good reason not to have safe and legal avenues? Is this a good reason to criminalize the people who want to save the people fleeing? It's not at all. So again, stories of single person, why they are fleeing countries, what is going on in Libya, because for instance, even this thing that we can push back people in Libya, it's absolutely illegal. Libya is a country in war, is not a safe place, so by international law, people cannot bring back there because it's not a safe place where to stay. And this is something that must be clear. And again, as part of a humanitarian organization, we need to work a lot with local communities on integration, for instance, so respecting each other. But then on the other side, what we are asking also to media is to tell this kind of stories and not only the political angle. What we want to say and what we said in all this kind of situation is that saving lives is never a crime. So we trust Italian judges and all the legal process that we will go on in the next few weeks and months. But what we want to say is that saving life is never a crime. So if the captain of an NGO vessel is now prosecuted only because she was saving lives, we don't agree. So we need to find a balance in helping vulnerable people. We need to confront and fight, if necessary, the toxic narrative on migration.
Okay, let's go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Thursday. Deya Barakat, Yusur Mohammed Abu Salah and Razan Mohammed Abu Salah were shot dead in 2015 near the University of North Carolina. The man who killed them, Craig Hicks, has just been sentenced to life in prison. The father of Yusur and Razan spoke after the sentencing about the fact that his son filmed his killer on his mobile phone.
You had 12 guns, but Deya killed you with a camera. Your life is finished because he decided that. He did not decide to do that. You asked him to kill you with a camera. You heard how beautiful they were. You never showed any regrets or remorse or empathy or respect.
Some women who fled repression in Saudi Arabia say the state is now using their IMEI numbers on their phone SIM cards to track them. A number of women who fled the kingdom recently, some used social media to highlight their plight and to make it harder for the Saudis to make them return. Now the website Business Insider says it's spoken to some of those women who fled, and they say that they know that their IMEIs have been used to try and locate them. The Saudis are using military-grade technology to track these women, a sign just how seriously they take the fact these women have sought to emancipate themselves. NASA has renamed a street outside their headquarters Hidden Figures Way. It's a reference to a book and a film about 3 black women who worked for NASA in the 60s and were integral to the agency being able to send men into space. They were written out of the agency's histories because of racism and misogyny. Their names, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan and Mary Jackson, were rightfully immortalized by the book and film Hidden Figures, and NASA have changed the name of a street. Many on the internet say it's a slightly obscure reference and it would have been better to name 3 streets after the 3 inspirational pioneers. And I knew this thing was a bad idea. A glass viewing platform on a skyscraper in Chicago has had to close after it cracked. It's the second time the thing has done this in 5 years. It's open for millions of people to go onto it every year for reasons best known to themselves. And last up in news you can't use and probably don't care about, we go to New Zealand. This story gives us the rare opportunity to show you cute puppies while chastising the government there for wasting public money, which you could call killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But we never kill any birds with any number of stones on this show, so that saying is cancelled. Anyway, the New Zealand police force spent 10,000 New Zealand dollars, that's $6,500 US, to review their social media postings. Why it cost quite so much is unexplained, but it was money well spent because they found out that the New Zealand PD was tweeting far too many pictures like this of floofy mutts and far too few bits of actual information about police business like, crimes and stuff. So if you want to find out if you're likely to be mugged in Auckland, this account ain't for you. If you like pictures of dogs in little uniforms, make it your next follow. And that will do from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints, and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow, subscribe, and add. See you again soon.